Hey everybody, this is Melina from ScrapbookingwithME.com and Me Crafty Scrapper here on YouTube and Instagram. I wanted to show you today our July E-Club kit. If you are not in the E-Club, you need to get in the E-Club. We are almost at capacity for our E-Club kit members. We try to keep it around 180 kits that go out every month, and we have found that if we go over that, sometimes we have some manufacturer issues about getting enough product of the same product to send to all 180 people. So we are almost at capacity for that. So I will leave a link in the description box below, direct link to our website where you can sign up for the E-Club monthly kit. July's is one of my favorites. It always comes in one of these mesh waterproof bags. And usually there's a glassine bag in there like that with some product in it, but that's not an every month thing. All right, I'm going to put the bag off to the side. And for July, you have a piece of pale pink. It's called Tutu Pink, cute cardstock, and then you have a navy blue, and then you have a piece of vellum, and it's a little thicker vellum than what I'm used to, and I kind of love it. And then you get some ribbon, and most everybody got a stamp block that has a handle on top of it, but we found that we bought the manufacturer out of all of those, the ones with the handle. So the few that do not have the handle, it's just because we couldn't get any more, and we just put you a regular handle in there. And I just took one with a regular stamp block, and it's just like either plexiglass or glass, and this one is a little different shape. It's not just a rectangle or a square. So we've got a little stamp block. We have this Storyteller, and this is made by American Crafts, Storyteller 6x8 paper pad, and I thought for July it is very appropriate. It's got some stars in it, and it's vintagey looking. It has some graph paper, it has some pull aparts, and some of the colors are a little brighter than what we usually have in the kits, but I'm loving it. Look at those birds, how cute. So I really like, see, I'm a big library card fan, so I'm already in love with this kit. Got florals, feathers, daisies, some torn paper. It's already torn for you. Words and some stripes, circles that look collaged, and then some wording that looks very vintagey. And then we have our stars and our kind of like solar system kind of looking stuff, and then we start over with the same patterns again. Very celestial looking. I love that. All right, and then in the glassine bag is lots and lots and lots of goodies. I'm knocking stuff over, sorry. So I'm gonna knock it all out of here so you don't have to hear the glassine bag anymore, and put that off to the side. Okay, so you have, remember the feathers that were in this collection. You have some leaves, and some of them look like feathers. Charms. You should have about 6 charms. Then you have a little stamp that goes along with your stamp block. So it's different kind of branch, tree branch, bush, something like that that you got in your kit. So it's a little nature stamp. You also got some of these little collage papers, And some of them will be vellum, and then some will be just regular paper. Some will be a cream colored paper, but these are the cutest little pieces of art. I just love that little book we get in this kit. And then you get a whole heap of die cuts. So you should have around 20 die cuts in your kit. And they're just beautiful things. Look at that typewriter. Love it. Flowers, some wording, some leaves, little Art Deco kind of butterflies and flowers, a few vellum pieces, some more phrase and wording, and then look, library card. So all of these die cuts went along with the Storyteller collection. And then you should have about 3 little graph, kind of ledger looking project lifestyle cards in there. So all kinds of goodies in that glassine bag. So if you're just opening up your big mesh bag and you're like, oh, there's not that much in there. Your glassine bag is full of stuff. So don't forget your glassine bag and looking in there and getting all your goodies out. Now, what are we going to create? I'm thinking that I want to make a bunch of card fronts. And I know that usually I make a full, you know, some kind of little album, mini album, journal, something like that with my monthly e-club kit. But this month I'm trying to build up my journaling ephemera cluster stash, and so I want to make a lot of card fronts. Now, if you're not a journaler, then you can of course use these for actual card fronts. I'm going to make them the invitation style. What is that size? A2, whatever it is. The 5.5 by 4.25. I'm going to make that size of card front, and I will be able to put them on a folded piece of cardstock and make an actual card out of it, or I'm just going to put it in my journaling stash and I'm going to use them in my journals. So I can make them horizontal or vertical, and they will work either way in a regular size journal, like an 8.5 by 11 folded in half page journal. So I thought that was a little bit clever on my part to make something that is multi-purpose. So I'm going to start with my cardstock bases. Now you can use this cardstock that you get in your kit, or you can use, if you're wanting to make the card bases like I'm going to make, you can use some more neutral cardstock. I might get out a couple of pieces of craft cardstock to use also, because I like that neutral background. Okay, so we've got an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, 2 of them actually, and we're going to cut the length at 5.5, and then we're going to flip it and cut at 4.25. So we are going to end up with 8 card bases out of the cardstock that you get in the kit. So I love that. I got a little bit of that branding strip not cut off on that one, so I will just, oh, and that one too. So I'll just make a border of some kind and cover that up. And then let's go ahead and get a craft piece of cardstock. Let me see if I've got one right here. Nope, I've got to get up. Hold on one second. I'm going to get a craft piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock out of my stash, and I'm going to cut 4 more bases. So 5.5 by 4 1/4 gets you that standard size card base. Now what I'm going to do is collage a little bit on these. So I'm going to get one of each color out. And we can mass make. That's going to be so cool. All right, I think I need that vellum. All right, I'm going to get my tear tool. And I'm going to just tear that branding strip off. Whoops, I'm going a little sideways. I told you this vellum was a little bit thicker than what I'm used to. But like I said, I kind of love it. All right, and then let's see. I think I'm going to make just a beautiful border for one of these at least. Okay, just a torn border. Look at that on that blue. Yep, that's a favorite. I love that torn look. Okay, and then get my paper pad out and look through here for something to go along with that. Oh, those birds. That's very pretty. And I think I might just get a tear going right there. And just tear along. And then, yep, and just tear really, really close on the edges on the rest of it. I love those little Art Deco looking birds. Those are cute. Very cute. Love that. I think I need to tear just a little bit more. Oh, I'm going to lose navy blue bird, just the front of it. Okay, yep, that's better. All right, and I want to ink my edges. I hear people say, oh, I don't make cards anymore. I don't even watch card videos anymore. Well, you know, just because it is in the shape of a greeting card doesn't mean it has to be put in the mail and used as a greeting card. I like making things that have more than one use. I love that. So let's go ahead and glue that down. I am all open to any videos. I love watching everything. Even if it's something like cross stitch. I don't cross stitch, but if there's a little design or something in that cross stitch video that I could incorporate into my paper crafting, I'm so there. I will watch it. So even if you're not a paper crafter, but you just like watching paper craft videos, and you have a YouTube channel, I want to know about it. So leave me a comment. You can't leave a link in the comment, I don't think. I've got my restrictions on so I don't get all of those nasty things in there. But if you leave a comment on my video, I can click on your name and it takes me directly to your YouTube so that I can go there and see your content. I would love that. I'm always looking for new content to watch, new channels that inspire me. So be sure to leave your comments. All right. Then wipe off my excess. I love that vellum back behind that. Let's see. I think maybe I want to use this card and my stamp and put it on my block. I'm going to put it sideways at an angle just because it's a little bit taller of a stamp. Love that. And then I think I'm going to ink it with my vintage photo. So let's ink this. And then I think I might do a little bit of green in there too. So I'm just going to do, this is Memento Bamboo Leaves, and I'm just going to kind of dot it in there, some green in with my vintage photo. And make sure I'm good on screen for you so you can see what I'm going to do. This is one of those Project Life graph cards, and I'm stamping on that. Oh yeah, that gave me a little different color than just normal vintage photo. I really like that. And I think what I'm going to do is, since we've got these lines on here, it's going to be very easy to cut. So I've got about 2-ish blocks, so I need to cut along that line there, and then give myself just about 1 block on top there. That is so pretty. Okay, and then I'm going to round the corners that I cut, and I might have to go ahead and round that other one. Yep, that works. Okay, and then ink my edges. Okay, and let's look in our little collage of papers. I think I'm going to need a page because this vellum is not going to show up good on that. It will show up really good on the pink though when I get to that one. So let's look here what I've got to choose from. Got some butterflies. I like that hawthorn. That's cute. Let's try that. And maybe sprung the money to get it. So this is a piece of the die cut, or die cuts that we got. All right, there. And then I'm going to ink the edges of my little collage paper. There, very good. And then I think like this and maybe Let's do, thought I had one other little word in here somewhere. Yes. Oh yeah, I like that. And maybe a leaf back behind it. Let's see what that looks like. No, that's too much green. Let's see here. No, I don't want to cover up the birds. So let's just do this. And that, I like that. Okay, let's add some of this ribbon that we got in our kit. I'm going to add it. I'm going to add it right there. I'm out of Fabrifix, whatever you call it. So I'm just putting it on with my regular Barely Arts. And then just trying to straighten it out so it doesn't look too wonky. And let's go ahead and glue this down here. You can hear Aaron Jonas getting a little giggly with whatever he's watching in his room. So if you hear that, that's what it is. Scooch that over some. And if you pull on ribbon, if you've got it all the way down, if you'll pull on it just back and forth, it will straighten it out. Okay. And then this one down. And then our little collage paper down. Pretty. And then I'm going to ink this. You won't be able to see too much of it because it's navy blue, but I like that. Very cute. And then let's trim off this excess ribbon. And then with these, you could even put a piece of dyed paper or graph paper or whatever on the backs of these and make them journaling spots. Very cute. I think I want to round my corners just because I'm in that kind of mindset these days. I like that look, the rounded corner look. I think this is a little bit wet maybe, and that's why my corner chomper's acting crazy. I need to put some foil down in it to sharpen it up a little bit. Oh yeah, I like the well, I got that tag awfully crooked, didn't I? I kind of like it like that. Let's use a pearl from one of our past kits. Put there. I mean, if that's not me, I don't know what is, you know, off crooked to the side. So there's our first little card front or journaling accent, journal accent. So I'm going to put that one there, and let's do a craft one. Let's go ahead and get some paper here. Let's see. I like the back of that one. And then maybe one of those cut aparts that's in there. Yep, let's go ahead And then I think I want to just make a straight edge instead of a torn edge on this one. And let's go there and there. I just find it easier to do that than try to think of the measurement I'm looking for. So let's go here. There. And ink our edges. Of course, if you're not an inker, you don't have to ink edges. I just like the look. I like how it makes each layer that you put on stand out. So that's why I like to ink edges. And it doesn't have to be perfectly inked, and you can dirty up certain edges on it if you want to. See, I just think that brings it all out. Let's go ahead and glue that down because I do not want to cause hesitation and think about it too long. Just go ahead and get it put on, because I will sit and dwell and think and question myself whether that is exactly what I want to do or not. Okay, and go ahead and ink my card edges, and I'm not going to round the corners of this one. I like the straight edging. Okay, there. I want to try to get at least 3 card fronts done for you, just so you can see the different shades of base cardstock and how we're doing. All right, there is that. And I think I'm going to make a little stamped background on this one instead of using any more of the paper from the paper pad, and then we'll put something on top of that. So I'm going to do a stamp, and then I'm going to ghost it off on the side there, and then another one and ghost. So I'm making like a little background. Okay, I like that. Very pretty. I love that look. Very cute. I'm trying to stay on the actual paper that I put on top of the craft. And let's ghost off. Love that technique. And then I think one more will have us set. Yep, that's good. All right, so there is our little stamped background. Got some warping going on with that liquid glue. There's our little stamped background, and I'm thinking we might add this beautiful butterfly. Maybe. We shall see if something else jumps out at me. Let's see. Those little cards, the cut aparts are very cute. I think I might tear some of that for the background to kind of break that up before I put that butterfly down. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see. Yep, it needs to go up and down. I was thinking, which way do I want this to go? It needs to go up and down. All right, and then tear, and then go along the edge and tear. And then I'm going to ink my edges so I don't have to ink all the way to the bottom. I think I've decided I want to go with that because that grid matches with that grid. So I really like that. And then have that little leaf out to the side there. And then maybe do a little charm over here off to the side. I think this little gold one, let's get that paper up and see how that looks. And we can put that on with our black ribbon using our crocodile. And we're trying to keep crocodiles in the shop for those who may not have gotten it yet or have it in their stash of tools. I like that. I think I want one more torn piece of paper of some kind. Maybe this orange that's on the back of the black writing, and it'll pull out that piece there. Is that long enough? Did I cut it long enough? Please say I did. Yes. Just barely get some off the top and then tear along the sides and then off a tiny bit on the bottom, and maybe it will still be long enough. Yep, it doesn't have to go all the way to the bottom of the card. It can just stay on that matted piece. So doing that and that, and I'm going to punch a hole there in that die cut piece. And everybody got different die cuts. It's all from the same collection, but we just had to split up the die cut packs because they cost so much. We weren't able to give everybody a whole pack, so that's why you have just a few, and I say a few, you've got like 20 die cut pieces, so that is a lot for one kit. And let's see, I think I'm going to put the orange here and then the black there and have that there, and then my little leaf piece there. Yeah, I like that. Pretty. Let's go ahead and put our orange torn piece down, and my glue decided to squirt out all at once. Okay. Let's get that down. And then our black piece, and we will trim that off whenever we get everything down. Okay, and our leaf piece, we don't want it hanging off the edge, so I know where to put it without having this piece up there. So just about right there, so it's not hanging off the card. Now let's see, this ribbon is thicker, but let's try a little trick-a-do here and trim it down the middle. These Tim Holtz scissors are the best at cutting ribbon, and especially little tedious pieces that need to be cut. Look at that. Love it. T90 little. That's how we call it here around this house. When it's the tiniest of tiny, it's T90. Okay. Put that through there, and of course somebody's going to say, oh, your ribbon's going to fray if you do that. Yay! I love the look of frayed ribbon, so that is my cup of tea there. And the only thing about frayed ribbon is trying to get it in a little bitty wad to put it through your little circle here. There we go. Okay, and get that charm down the correct way you want it showing. See, it's got a front and a back, so we need to get that down the way we want it. And I didn't cut my ribbon long enough to make a bow, so I'm just going to do double knot. And if you're very, very talented, you could have done a library pocket too. I kind of like how that's hanging off like that ribbon. So let's fray it some more. Just pull at it and fray and pull at it and fray. And you can work your scissors on it too, and that helps to fray it up a little bit. Gets that worked out of the weave that it's in. So fray that ribbon out. I like that. All right, and I think I'm going to put this down with some dimensional dots. Little foam dots here somewhere. Here we go. We have put these in kits before and haven't really gotten any response from it, but I love dimensional tape, foam tape, to add a little more texture and dimension to your project. I love it. That was my stomach growling. I haven't had breakfast or lunch. This is a video day. I try to get one day out of the week where I do the majority of my videos, and then I edit through the week so that I've got plenty of time during the week to work also. So on my video days, I don't get many breaks for eating, but I make up for it at supper time when I'm done and ready to wind down. Let's see, is that straight? And I know somebody is going to say, you did all of that stamping on the background and then you covered it all up. I sure did. Not all of it. You can still see it peeking out, and that's my intention. I wanted to have it peeking out like that. I love that. I love how the ribbon is frayed and hanging off. That is cute. Cute, cute. All right, there's our second card front, card base, whatever we want to call it. I'm going to wipe off my stamp because I don't think I'm going to use it on this next one. The next one is going to be very clean and pretty. Look at that blush pink background. I don't think I'm going to ink this one either. Look how pretty that butterfly looks just on that base. I love that. I think I am going to stitch my edges. I mean, that butterfly die cut is made for a standard invitation size card front. I just love that. I'm going to stitch around the edges, and that's going to be a very simple one. I love that. Okay, so I did a little bit of a wonky stitch intentionally. Usually I will tell you if I just did it haphazardly and I'm just a horrible sewer, seamstress, whatever. But this one I intentionally did a little bit of haphazard kind of stuff there. So I just didn't want to do just a simple straight stitch. I wanted to do something just a little different. And then I'm going to put this butterfly down just in the middle. And let it spread out to the wings a little bit, but not all the way down. Straighten it up. Love that. You may have gotten the big butterfly, you may have gotten a big flower, something like that. Whatever you got, it's going to be beautiful on the middle, in the middle of a card front or card base. And I think I'm going to get another one of those pearls and put the big one on the head here. Very pretty. Very simple, and I did not distress the sides or the butterfly. I love how simple that is. Too pretty. Love that. All right, I think we may have enough time. I didn't really check the time when I started. Let's do one more with the blush pink. That is just so pretty. Look at that. It's too tall, but it's very pretty. That's pretty. We can do one off the top like that. That's neat. Let's look at our papers. Whoop, going from the wrong side. Let's see here. What do we want to use on this? Oh, look at those flowers. How pretty. All right, let's do let's round our corners. There. And Aaron is doing chores in the background, so if you hear noises, that's what it is. He is doing, as he calls it, his work for it. That's what he calls chores. And we just do not correct him because it's just too cute. Every once in a while he'll remember, oh yeah, that's called chores. And he'll call it that. But then I'm like, oh, just forget that. That's fine. No, I don't tell him that. But in my mind, I'm thinking, you don't have to call it that. Just keep calling it work for it. It's cute. All right. I think I'm going to do straight edging on this one and round the corners. That floral paper is just so pretty. All right. Let's round the corners. I didn't even put it up against it to make sure that it was the right size. It is. We're good. Very pretty. I think I'm going to turn it so these big flowers are over here and doesn't get covered up by that. Oh, how pretty. I love that. Let's do a little pocket that this goes in. I like that. Very pretty. Let's use, I'm going to use pumice stone. And I'll have to find a new foam because I don't think I have one for this one. Let's see. Let me just use this one that's barely got some green on it. Let's take that one off from our walnut stain. I don't want to use a dark color on this pink, so I like that this will be a little bit green just because we've got that, but then the pumice stone will show through, and that green is going to go along with that. Also, I need some more foams for my Tim Holtz blender. I have 2 handles, and then I think I've used all of my foams. My vintage photo, I actually had to replace the foam on because I was getting those little giblets coming off of it. So now I am all out of foams, so I gotta get some more from the shop. You know, I work at this shop called ScrapbookingwithME.com, and you know, we have those in stock all the time. That's what Mama would say if I was over there. You do know that you work at this shop and we have all this stuff in stock and you just get it and take it off of inventory, right? I know, but then I get over there and I forget. Okay, so there's pumice stone with a little bit of green in with it. Okay, I'm going to put this pattern paper down. So I said I wanted to get 3 card fronts. That one was so simple that we're going to get 4 done. All right, and then I want my pocket off to the side a little bit. I'm going to do a little pocket in this card front. I love that idea. Now that is cute. That goes right along with that. It's the back of that one. Let's see. We'll need to add something. Well, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to go with the pocket thing. I think I'm going to go... Oops, so sorry. You got that right in your ear. I had a grandparent at one time that every time he would say something, he would put a "yeah" on the front of it. So ear was in your ear. Let's cut that off. So every once in a while, in my speech, look at that, I didn't cut it off where it's supposed to be. I channel that grandparent and talk like he talked. Silly. Alright, I'm gonna round just those outside corners. Oh yeah, I like that. That, and do it off to the side. I like that. Okay. Even though I'm pretty much covering up my edging, I did on that one. There's that. Get that on really good and straight, of which it is not at this moment. Okay, and then put on our library card. Off to the side and just hang it off the top. I'm going to pull this way a little bit. Pumice stone again. And ink the edges of this beautiful flower. And then I'm going to put that in the center of that. And then maybe... Nah. Have I got any more little words? Nope. I think I might. I'm going to take a piece from a digital that I have. So this is not from the kit, but if you have another phrase in your die cuts that you were given, you can use that. I just didn't have one small enough, so I'm gonna pull from my stash to finish off this card front. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. I think I might do the flower off to the side there. That's pretty. Okay, and then I just rounded those top edges there. And then I think I'm just going to keep my flower in the middle of that library card there, and that goes along with that background so well. Pretty pretty. And then I think maybe I will put this on with some of the foam tape. Give me a little bit of dimension with it. There. Yay. And I think I want it coming off just a little bit here and here. Pretty. Okay, so you could always do your card fronts this way also. You don't have to do, I did all of these sideways. Somebody, y'all should have yelled at me and told me, do one up and down, do one up and down. Oh well, I've got all of mine this way. I'm going to get these out of the way so we have plenty, even with not using my stash of craft, we have plenty of card fronts still to use. Still got plenty of bases to use. I'm going to get that out of there, and let's go over our card fronts that we made. Just 4 in this video, but we can do so much more with what we have left. Let me get some of this out of the way so we don't have a junk pile to look at while we're looking at our finished products. Get these die cuts out of the way here. Okay, I'm going to stand up to show you. Cute. With the charm and the layering behind that. The simplest one, but so pretty. Just that die cut with some stitching around the edges. And then this first one we made with the layering and stamping. And then that last one with just a little pop-up of that label there. I loved making these, and I hope that you loved watching and that you make some of your own with the July E-Club kit. And don't forget, if you are not a subscriber to the E-Club kit, you need to do it. And we're almost at capacity, remember that. So I'll leave the direct link in the description box below. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed day, and I'll see you in the next video. Love ya. Bye, guys.